shining wherever you are. If it's not shining on the outside, I absolutely hope that it's shining on the inside. Feel free to give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you can hear me. Let me check. See if you are giving me thumbs up. Let me know that you can hear me. Feel free to let me know, where you're tuning in from and the best thing that's happened to you today. It's Monday. The week is still young. The day is still young, but maybe you can share something, the best thing that's happened to you today. Feel free to share that at your convenience. Feel free to share that again. The best thing that's happened to you today so far, or you can even put the best thing that happened to you this weekend. We're still early today for some of you all, especially my folks on the West Coast, on the western side of the world. But here we are. So I'm not big on Shakespeare. I'm not the biggest Shakespeare person at all by any way, shape, or form. But I thought that I would reference him. Okay, I thought that I would reference Shakespeare, although I'm not, the Shakespeare guru or the go-to on Shakespeare. To be or not to be, that is the question. Now, there are different ways of analyzing what that may have meant. Or those of you all who are philosophy majors would love to dive directly into this. And so quite simply, it can come down to living or dying, to be or not to be. That is the question, right? Or to live or to die, right? To, let's say, reduce some of the mortality reference, if you will, or any morbid thoughts, to live or to live less. How about that? We'll work on that. We'll talk through that. To live or to live less. To be or not to be. To do or to not do. Right? I think we're all familiar with Yoda, and it's no try. There's no try. There is do, or something like that for you Star Wars folks out there. But ultimately, discussing how important it is to do, because on the polar opposite of doing is obviously complacency. It's nothing. It's ultimately social, emotional, physical death. So now here come the questions. There are things that, we want to be, things we want to do, things we want to accomplish. And especially at this point, we have to begin to ask ourselves some important questions if we are looking to grow, if we're looking to develop, if we're looking to better the circumstances that we are experiencing right now. And those questions are, hey, if your thought is you would like to be more active, if that's the thought, then the question is, are you taking more daily walks? Are you doing light exercises? If it's, I'd like to read more, I'd like to really read more, then the question literally simply becomes, are you reading more? Are you finding new books that are going to support the notion and habit of you reading more? If it's, I'd really like to be more positive, I'd really like to be around more positive people or do more positive things, then the simple question is, are you hanging out with positive people? Are you engaging positive things? Sometimes people feel like they're not in control of that. They may say, well, when I wake up, when I go on social media, or when I'm engaging, the only things that are there are things that are negative or controversial. Well, often, what we see on social media is a reflection of what an algorithm or what social media sites say our interest will be. So if we continue to engage in those things, that is what we will see more of. So we have to be more intentional. Does that mean unfriending or blocking or hiding posts and people? That's absolutely what it means. If you are on social media, does it mean that maybe you begin to join groups on social media that are more indicative of who you'd like to be and what you'd like to do? That's absolutely what it means. I'll also say, hey, or ask, have you developed a new skill? Have you developed a new skill up to this point? Have you started learning something new that's going to better you? Have you done that? These are all small things that along the way, it's to be or it's not to be. And these are all things that you are in full control of. No one else is. Even if you feel like you don't have much time during the day, even if you feel like stress has gotten the best of you, then I can also ask, have you done anything to help you lessen your stress and anxiety? Are those easy things to navigate? Absolutely not. Are there things you can do that will help you navigate them? Absolutely. But being intentional and purposeful is what will help you along the way. I hope this was helpful to you. And if you think it was, please feel free to invite someone to watch this or tag them in the comments section, because oftentimes you may find some very simple questions you can ask yourself that will give you very simple answers that will help you along the way to who it is you want to be. Again, to be or not to be. These are questions that are absolutely up to you. No matter how much great advice you feel like I might give or insight that someone else might give, what's going to happen is you will have to follow that advice or insight up with action that you are going to have to take. If the deal is, heck, I'm stressed, I'm anxiety ridden, I feel this way, and then the advice is given, these are things that help you mitigate those situations or circumstances. You have to do something. There has to be a cause and an effect. Yin and the yang, right? We have to do something to combat these difficult circumstances and situations that you might be enduring. If you're not doing anything about them, they will just stay the same. Worst case scenario, they will get worse. So, plenty of tools out there. Continue to ask yourself questions, because the questions you ask yourself will determine the person you turn out to be. Again, I hope this was helpful. Please feel free to obviously check out subscribe to my podcast. Make sure you check out Mental Flight School. And if you have no idea who I am, just go to stanpearson.com, and that'll give you a little bit more of a clue as to what I do and how I do it. And remember, if nothing else, if you're afraid of taking action, you feel like you have to be perfect or everything has to go right, it absolutely doesn't have to go all right. It just has to be progress and not seeking perfection. So remember, effort on fire beats knowledge on ice. Remember 24/7, 365, 14 days a year that you are good, you're great, you're worth it. The small things will help you accomplish the big things. Any questions or thoughts out there anyone have? Any questions or thoughts anyone else have as I go through social media? I think so. Hey, what's going on, Bunny? How you doing? Don't know if you're still there. Hey, Jordan, how's it going? What's happening, y'all? Dexter, how's it going? Hope all is well. Good to see you, Jordan. Good to see y'all, folks. Feel free to, let me know the best thing that happened to you this week. That'd be super dope. I'm glad you all are doing well. I know life isn't always easy, but it's absolutely necessary, just to put the right tools and people in our lives to help us overcome some of these very frustrating times. And frustrations won't go away, even when this does, right? Even when this pandemic or quarantine, even as this goes away, difficult times will still exist. So what you're learning right now or picking up or developing, these are skills that are going to last you throughout your entire life. So keep that in mind. It is the opportunity and the time to develop skills that you hadn't thought you could develop, or you didn't think there'd be time to develop them, or just being willing to refresh yourself, as it seemed like the world is refreshing itself as well. So that's all I got. Y'all have a good day. Thumbs up. I hope y'all can hear me. Hope you had, okay, cool. Hey, Josh, how you doing? Hope all is well. Cool. So y'all have a great day. And remember, effort on fire beats knowledge on ice. Take care of those around you. Take care of yourself. And also remember to feed your mind, because as you feed your mind, your body will follow. This is Dan Pearson II. You heard it here first. Peace.